Welcome everybody to another episode of the Philly Old Head Review. Today, our guest is Mr. GQ, Mr. Mekayel Young.
Yes,
Before
sir.
we get started, I want to send a shout out to my brothers over there at City Spice. They gave me a little bit of their merch. Got the little Philadelphia shirt on. So I wanted to send them a shout out. But today, I got a very special guest, an up-and-coming young man in the fashion industry, real sharp. I think I'm gonna have to get him to hook me up. You know what I mean? Put a little bit of that juice on. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean? And the man is sharp. You know what I'm saying? So without further ado, I'm gonna let him go ahead and introduce himself. Tell a little bit about his background before we get into the interview. Mr. Young.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Brother Umar, thank you. Thank you. So my name, Mekayel Young. I'm from North Philadelphia, born and raised.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Delaware State University, so I have a business degree.
Okay.
So I graduated from Delaware State in 2006. Like I said, with a business degree.
Okay.
I started doing this. I always had a thing for fashion. Since I was a kid coming up, my uncles, my grandfathers, all of them, they always had suits on and things like that.
Right.
Get their shoes shine. I used to go with them to get their shoes shine. So I always seen that. So when I got older, I was one of them kids. I say probably like junior, senior year in high school, I started wearing like blazers and stuff like that. So when I got to college, I was a business major. We had to dress up 2 days out the week for our major courses.
Okay.
So I went from dressing up 2 days a week to I started dressing up all week. I'm coming to class in suits and blazers, slacks, and things like that. Everybody like, you all right? We don't got our major today. This regular, we got health today. You come in here with a blaze on.
Supposed to be wearing sweatpants and a t-shirt.
Right. So I'm coming in there, suited and booted. So it kind of stuck with me since that's what I seen as a kid. And the thing is, so since 2019, that's when I launched Style by Young. But prior to that, I was always that person. If it was like an upcoming event, a wedding, red carpet, anything that was upscale, my family and friends always came to get me to dress them up and style them. So last year I had that aha moment, and I'm like, I always love fashion. I'm always helping people. Why not take it to the next level and start my own brand and make money from it? Because I love doing it. So Why not make money for doing it?
So when you was growing up, did you have a favorite fashion designer?
I say Ralph Lauren.
Ralph Lauren? Was that your inspiration, or did you have another inspiration?
I didn't have an inspiration as far as like a fashion designer.
Right.
But like I mentioned before, I always had a thing for fashion because by me being around my uncles and my grandfather, like going with them, I always seen them suited and booted. I never seen them with sneaks on. They always had suits and shoes on. They had their cool caps on. They had their Borsalinis on, stuff like that. So that's one of the things I want to do with my brand. I want to bring that back because I feel like that's something that's lost. Even when I'm out at events, I see guys, they might have on a nice suit, but their shoes is, scratched up and stuff like that. So a lot of people went away from getting their shoe shine. So I'm trying to bring all that back.
Okay.
That's missing.
What high school did you go to?
I went to Germantown High School.
All right, so you're a Germantown grad. I'm sure a lot of them would like to hear that.
Yeah, so it hurt my heart when they closed the school down too.
Man, that school had a lot of problems though, bro.
Yeah, it hurt my heart because it's like, every Thanksgiving, they had the Turkey Bowl. So Germantown and King game, that was like a big deal. Every year you see from the alumni. So like on my father's side, all of them went to Germantown. So all my uncles, my aunts, it was like a big family reunion with their friends, with their friends, my generation, the generation under us. So now it's like we went from doing that every year to now there's nothing to look forward to for, in the morning time when Germantown and King, since that's not there anymore.
Right. So, okay, after you graduated, you had your inspiration to always look sharp.
Right.
So what made you say, all right, what was the thing that made you say, all right, I'm gonna start my own line? I'm a jump out there and I'm gonna just go ahead and rock my own line.
Well, one of the things, because like I said before, like I thought about it, I always felt like I always had a thing for fashion. So I had an idea. I'm like, dang, everybody literally come to me if it's not from the help them to show them how to tie a tie. Like I have guys older than me want me to show them how to tie a tie. So they got me tying ties. They got me taking them. Well, they come to get me to take me to the different stores to pick out suits and things like that. So I'm like, my time, now I'm starting to think like my time, like time is money.
Right.
So I'm stopping from doing other things to, assist them, but it's still my time.
Right.
So then I'll say, you know what? I'm gonna start charging people for my time.
Right. Okay.
So
are you actually designing your clothes yourself?
no, so pretty much how it works is, so I have a couple of things that I do. So it all starts from the consultation. So depending on what their budget is and what they're trying to do, that would determine if we're going to do custom. So if we do a custom, I have a designer and tellers that I work with, whereas though I would take them to the studio, I would pick out their with them and I will go over some books, pick out the fabric, we'll measure them up, and then the suit will get made. But I don't actually make the suits myself.
Okay.
I have someone that does that. But I'm the one that picks the material out. Like I got that vision, I got the eye for it. I just don't physically make the suits myself.
I see you got a sharp blazer on right now. Why don't you show us what you rocking right now?
This is actually the whole suit. I don't know if y'all can see it, but as you can see, it's a whole, I like to take it to the next level when it comes to, and I also got my own turtleneck brand too. As you can see, I have my turtleneck on today.
Right. So I saw you had the socks, you had the socks, you had the ties, you got the blazers.
I have my mask. This is my mask right here. This is my brand. You can see Styled by Young. That's my logo. Right there. I have right now I have masks. So I'm gonna start with that. So first I started off with just the socks. I was doing the socks because I'm big on accessories. So I like to do the socks to match the tie, things like that, or the socks to match the handkerchief. So I'm big on accessories. So what happened, I started off with just selling the socks.
Right.
Then when COVID came, because this is my first year doing having prime clients, because I did prime clients before for family, but it was free service.
Okay.
This is my first year actually having paid clients for me to style their kids. So I had about 6 kids who primes that I was doing, but with the whole COVID thing, they couldn't go on their primes.
Right.
So when COVID hit, people really wasn't buying socks. So I said, I got to figure out, while I'm sitting still, I had time to sit still. I wasn't doing too much. I said, I got to get another product. So from the socks, I started doing my research. I wound up landing a vendor for glasses. So I have glasses, I have ties, I have handkerchiefs, I have cufflinks, and then I have my own cashmere turtlenecks.
Okay.
So I'm just trying to build. I'm just building brick by brick. Like I'm not trying to get everything at one time. But one of my overall goals too, probably like in the next year or two to have my own suit line.
Right.
So
Are you working out of a store, online? How people, how are they able to get in contact with you to check out, to see what type of styles you have? If they want to get measured up by you and get a suit design or an outfit design, how can they get in touch with you or take a look at your merchandise?
so right now, through social media, my website, Styled by Young, is about to launch like in another week or two. So that's going to be the first way you can get in contact with me. And I get a lot of referrals and word
Right.
of mouth. And honestly, because how I dress, I literally had people stop me on the street and ask me like, "How you doing? What do you do? Are you a lawyer, a doctor?" And first thing, once I tell them I'm a stylist, they say, "Oh, I see that you fresh off the runway." So
Right.
that's like the icebreaker right there. Like I don't even have to do a lot of promoting, just how I carry myself. I call myself a walking billboard.
Right. Okay. So are you planning on having a brick and mortar store, or you want to keep everything online?
The way the world is going, online is where it's at. So I feel like online, unless the demand gets to the point where do I need a store, but I think I'll do good online to start out with.
So what type of message can you get a youth who may aspire to do what you're doing, or getting into keeping themselves busy, staying off the streets, being positive?
Well,
What type of message can you?
I do want to, I'm glad you brought that up too, because that's one of the things I do want to touch on. A big thing, because I talk to a lot of executives and directors of like HR departments and
Right.
things like that, CEOs. So the biggest thing, like in our community, is they don't know what to wear to an interview.
Presentation.
So that's another thing that I put out there. Like even on my social media platform, I like to do Q&A sessions where as though I talks about the essential suits you should have to start out. The proper interview attire, I stress that a lot because a lot of people don't know what to wear to interviews. And some of the youth, they get frustrated because they might never had that father figure in their life or that male figure to show them the proper thing to wear to an interview. So a lot of the youth do feel as though like there's no jobs out here and things like that. They get frustrated and sometimes turn to the streets because at the couple knows, they can't handle rejection like maybe you and I could.
Right. They don't have the patience and the perseverance to keep
Right.
trying and going after it. So
Right.
what message specifically can you give to them about?
I would tell them to be patient. Be patient. Follow your dreams. I tell everybody you can't compete with social media. Social media is an illusion. So a lot of our youth, they want to compete with social media. They want to look at what the rappers doing, stuff like that. A lot of that stuff is fake.
Right.
If you just be true to yourself and don't try to follow behind everyone, and they'll be okay. Like whatever you want to do, you can do it. It's achievable. Especially now, it's like so many platforms. With the internet, you can research so much stuff. Like it's things that I found that I can do around the house just from YouTube. Me being in the house during the pandemic, it was things that before I might call a handyman, now I'm literally going to YouTube and sitting there maybe for like an hour and figuring it out and getting it done.
Okay.
So I would tell them to be patient, whatever they want to do, research. Don't be scared to network. Network, I tell everybody, like right now, I'm not even focused on the money. I'm focusing on just the network. I just did an event, a vendor event in Chester last Saturday, and I met a few poets, a few rappers, just networking. Like it ain't just all about the money. I got an invite for me to come, vend at the venue. It was a poetry event, and it was good. It was book offers there. it was some up and coming rappers, it was some poets, it was a few business people, and then after it was over, everybody was networking. So I would tell them, just network. That's one of the things too. When I was like 19, when I first went to college, I didn't want to network. In Philly, we're taught to, if you go out talking to all these people, you're Joe. You're being Joe. So, or you ride somebody's coattail. So a lot of our youth, that's how they look at it. Right. But you might be missing your opportunity by not stepping out the box. So when I say my sophomore year, I stepped out the box and I started meeting people. Now I have connections in DC, Atlanta, New York, Virginia, North Carolina. So if I gotta go down to one of these places for business, sometimes I don't even have to get a hotel. I can call one of my friends from college, right, and be like, brother so-and-so, I'm coming down. Would it be okay if I stay a night or two? Sure. Well, they tell me all the time, you come down, you can stay. I got a guest room. You get the guest room.
Just make sure you bring an outfit with you for my
absolutely. It's funny you said that, because one of my buddies that's in Atlanta, he reached out to me like 2 months ago. He said, next time you come down to Atlanta, you're going to bring me something down here, right?
That's networking. That's how it works.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? One hand washes the other. So
absolutely,
so they got to understand that, and it's not all about we old heads. We had that saying. It's not what you know, it's who you know.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely,
if you get out there and get to know people and get that exposure,
right?
That may open up opportunities for you that may not have been available had you not gotten off the block,
right?
And gotten that exposure. So we want to keep pushing that message out there to think positive, network with people, ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions.
Absolutely.
Anything else you want to talk about?
Yeah. So I was going to say one of the things too. So I never was on social media up until I got my business, right?
Right.
So at first I was like, I don't want to get on. I don't want to get on that. I don't want to get on Instagram. I don't want to get on Instagram. So one of my friends that's successful in business. They listen, if you want to get your name out there, if you want to get yourself out there, your business out there, how people gonna know who you are? He was like, do you have money for advertisement right now? I said, I really don't. Get on social media. So I got my Instagram. So I had an Instagram for about 5-6 months. So people kept telling me to get on Facebook. I was like, nah, I ain't getting on Facebook. Facebook, the best thing that could have happened for me, because Facebook is more of an older platform, whereas though people, more career people that want to look nice, their values, being well groomed, being well dressed, all that. So I get a lot of people sharing my videos on Facebook. I do a majority of my business on Facebook. I do more business on Facebook than I do on Instagram.
Right.
So I look at I'm telling myself all the time, like, dude, if you would have got on Facebook when you first started Instagram, your business probably have been way, bigger than what it is. But, it's a learning experience.
Now, how many different styles of glasses do you have in your portfolio there?
So right now, I started off with just clear frames. Mm-hmm. Like a lot of schoolboy, like the schoolboy style glasses. Then I was getting requests for tint, sunglasses. Right. So I added a couple sunglasses in there as well.
Yeah, the reason I asked because I'm looking for a couple new pair of frames and glasses and shades. You always see me. I'm always wearing sunglasses, but a lot of people don't know my sunglasses are actually, they have a prescription in them. So
that makes sense though.
Yeah,
one of my uncles do that too.
Yeah. I've been doing it for years, so helps me, with the light sensitivity and being able to see clearly when I'm out driving and stuff like that. So that was I saw you wearing a pair a few weeks ago. I was like, oh, they, you know, they were nice pair of glasses, but I didn't realize they were your glasses,
Right.
from your line. So that's something I want to take a look at.
Okay.
Yeah.
Make that happen.
All right. So where can the people find you on Facebook and Instagram?
So on Instagram, it's style_by_young.
Mm-hmm.
On Facebook, it's at Mekayel Young. And the website is www.stylebyyoung.com.
And we'll post that below, so everybody can have a chance to have your contact information. And I know you're going to blow up.
My business number as well.
Okay.
That number is 215-531-2727.
All right. Is anybody else working with you? Or are you doing all this? I know you have your actual designers, not designers, but your people that's putting the stuff together for you. But anybody else working with you, or are you working solo?
Solo right now, one man crew. But eventually, you know, once it gets where I want it at, then I'm definitely going to get some staff. Because right now, you know, I forgot, I did want to add something as well. So I'm coming out with the Style by Young Gentleman box.
Mm-hmm.
So what that entails, it'll be a monthly subscription. People can sign up on my website, and it consists of a pair of socks, a tie, cuff link, and a handkerchief every month. But it'll be different, you know, different styles and stuff like that. So I'm about to launch that. That's one of the things that's coming.
Okay. All
Style
right.
by Young in the box.
I'm sure a lot of white collar workers, CEOs, and guys that are entrepreneurs like yourself, that's something that they'll be interested in.
Right.
That's that upper echelon target area. And yeah, I mean, look, sky's the limit. People always want to look good.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And it's like when you're looking good, smelling good, your confidence is just through the roof. You know, I honestly, I think that's another thing that's going on in the community is because people, they're not like, when it comes to like grooming themselves or just like looking nice, that's why they always angry and stuff like that. A lot of times people think to look nice costs a lot of money. But I tell people, like, I promote, I can style all budgets, and I try to show people it's not, you don't always have to go to King of Pressure, all the designers, Louis Vuitton, Gucci, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I take people to Ross. I take people to TJ Maxx. I take people to Marshalls to show them it's just, you don't have to go to the high-end stores to look nice.
Right.
You know, so that's another thing too I want to put out there. Because a lot of people will say, I love to wear one of those suits, but I don't got that type money. And I say to them, how you know how much money it was? You don't even know what kind of suit this is.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then I put videos up on my social media showing them I'm putting outfits together in Marshalls and Ross for $200 for a whole suit and stuff like that. And it blows their mind. I had people in my DM like, wow, dude, I didn't think you could do that in them type stores, but you really can.
Or less than that.
Yeah.
Less than that.
And I'm big on sales. Like I'm big on sales and stuff too.
Volume sales? Oh, sales. Okay. Like
yeah,
50% off.
Yeah, and that's another thing. When certain stores having good sales, I tell people, you know, so-and-so having a good sale. You said you want to get your first suit. So-and-so having a sale, 40% off, 50% off.
I didn't get a chance to see what type of shoes you had on. What's your favorite style shoes? You like wing tips? I mean, what you rocking?
Oh, right now, I don't know if you can see it, but can you see the shoes?
I see the back of your foot. Swing a little bit. I see part of it. Looks like you got some Oxfords on or something.
I do. Oxford, that's my favorite.
Okay. All right. You know, that was that was normal wear back in my day.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, Oxford's. I don't know if you can see the Oxfords, but
Yeah, yeah. Little weight on there. All right, I see you. So I got to get with you. I'm trying to get my weight steady right now. I didn't went up a little bit, but definitely want to pick up an outfit or two for those special occasions going out there. We appreciate you coming on. Any last words for the public?
I appreciate you having me. Just if you want to look nice, make sure y'all get with Style by Young. I have you looking nice, looking right for a good price.
All right, and ladies, make sure if you want to get some outfits for your gentleman, your husband, make sure you hit him up. Be a nice surprise any time of year. Again, we'll leave the contact information below, and we thank you for coming to another episode of the Philly Old Head Review.